I want my kids to learn something that they actually can take, that they are never in the same situation that I was or still a little bit am now, because I never learned how to make money. I never learned how to make business. I never learned things that are actually helping, you know. And I want them to learn all this, and also I want them to learn who they really are, what they really want, because that's something that I also never learned and had to figure out the hard way.
Welcome to Women and Work, the show where we focus on our unique challenges, whether we're climbing the corporate ladder, growing our own business, or navigating the complex juggle of career and kids. I'm Diane Mocha, founder and CEO of the childcare app MomSub, like a substitute mom. Today we meet one of many women making work fit her life. The interview was done in the past, but the insights are just as relevant today.
And what is your career?
I'm actually an actress. I studied acting, and I was working as an actress since I'm 16. And basically like my whole adult life. And in between, like in the middle of it, I was kind of, I don't know, I had like a weird turn, which was due to my then boyfriend, because he didn't want to date an actress. So he's like, ah, you should do something better. You should do something else, you know, that's something that's safe, blah, blah, blah. And I let him scare me. So I was I was studying sports, and I mean not sports, it's called, like here it's called sports and fitness.
Physical therapy?
No, it's more for like administration and everything.
Okay.
You know, for sports and fitness. And yeah, I was so unhappy. I was only doing that because I got scared, and you know, and I was very young, and I thought, yeah, maybe he's right. I should do that. Yeah, which I never do now, but I did it back then. It's okay. Yeah.
And how many children? You just have one?
I have two. I have a 1-year-old and a 6-year-old. A daughter. My daughter is 6, and my son is 1.
Okay. So she's 6. She's in school in first grade?
Exactly. She just started going to school, and he's not in kindergarten yet. And I mean, I'm kind of in the middle of changes, like a lot of changes, which include me thinking about if school is really the thing that I want for my kids, and kindergarten as well. You know, I'm basically thinking about homeschooling, but I can't because it's illegal in Germany. So I have to move anyway. I mean, I want to move anyway, but this is just one more reason for me to move out of Berlin or Germany. Yeah.
Where would you move?
Switzerland, Zurich. I so desperately want to live there. It's so beautiful. I don't know if you've ever been. Have you been there? No, right? It's really, you should, like, if you ever have the chance and you like the mountains and like really beautiful, crystal clear lakes, you should totally go there. They have so much beautiful nature, and small cities, and really old small cities. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
So are you married?
No, I have never been married. And I thought I was going to be married at some point, and I wanted to be married, but I've never, see, the thing is, I've never met the right person, and I thought I did, but it was a good thing that I never married one of them.
So let's look back. You know, I want to talk mostly about your motherhood journey, being a working mom. So you've got a 6-year-old. So you were in a relationship, you were living with a man? What?
Yes, I was,
Okay.
yeah.
And you were kind of thinking this was a long-term relationship, or like did you say, I want to be a mom and I'm just gonna roll the dice and see what happens, or was it really a big surprise?
It was kind of both, but I actually was, I mean, I wasn't planning to get pregnant. Sorry. I was, I know, he just finds the right moment to do those things. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, man, go here. I wasn't planning to get married, to become a mom. Sorry, to become a mom, and but I wasn't uh, dodging it, or do you say dodging?
You
Yeah.
weren't trying to prevent it.
Yes, thank you. I wasn't trying to prevent it either, so it was kind of a little bit surprised. I was a little bit surprised, but then, like, as soon as I got pregnant, I don't know if it was my hormones or something, but I just realized, oh man, this is the wrong guy. So yeah, it was kind of a mess, and I was a mess. But this is due to my past, because I never had great male role models. My dad was a very horrible dad, and a horrible husband, and it was just like I made my peace with it. Sometimes it's kind of hard still, but I kind of made my peace with it. But I had to like go through a lot in order for me to understand that this is a there are patterns that I learned since I was a kid. So I had to break through that, and I had to learn a lot, and still do sometimes. Yeah. So that was the wrong guy. I couldn't stand with him. I couldn't stay with him, and he didn't want to stay with me either. So we split, and then my single mom journey started, basically. Yeah.
So when your daughter was born, you were at that point you were on your own.
I was what?
Were you
Excuse me?
on your own by
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
when your daughter was born?
No, when she was born, he was actually there, but we split still. We already like kind of rotated away from each other. He was still living with me, but more and more it like got clear that we don't belong to each other. And then like after 2 years, he moved out, and yeah, and then I was alone with her, which was very scary for me. I never thought I could be alone, like living alone, raising a kid by myself. And yeah, but I grew into it. But it was not easy, but I grew into it. Yeah.
Well, sometimes you rise to the occasion, right? You knew you had this important job to do.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was,
Did you
yeah.
have family around? Was your mom around to help you, or siblings or friends?
Yeah. Sometimes I do have family here. I have my mom and my two sisters. I also have a brother, but he's way too busy to do anything. And we kind of, my family history is kind of a weird one, because we all had this kind of a split. I have never like, it was years ago that my dad, I don't know how to explain it, but he kind of made us split, because he was such a how can I say that? He just made us go after each other for years. You know, we kind of never had this family growing together and staying together forever or something feeling, because of that. And we had to kind of split from everyone. And then, I'm sorry, he just finds the right time to do that. So it was, I never really could rely on anyone on my family. So I was basically by myself. In the beginning, when my daughter was smaller, I was going to acting classes again, and my mom was actually taking care of my daughter. That was working kind of fine, but it was also a little bit stressful, because my mom doesn't like to do that. So yeah, we're not the typical family, I think. It's weird, but it is how it is.
So when she was a baby, you were going out on auditions, you were getting jobs, you were getting work. Do you do print work? Do you do work on set? Or do you do all of the above?
Yeah, it was everything from, it was like everything basically. I used to work for TV a lot in Germany, like TV series, German TV series, and like shorter roles, and some of them a little bit more, and then short films, and also on stage. I loved all of it. I mean, most of the things I loved was in front of the camera. I really liked working in front of the camera. I still do, but I don't do it anymore this nowadays. You know, I will still, but at the moment I just can't with two kids. I'm just don't know. Like I have to handle this first. So this is my biggest project yet. So um, yeah, so I did all of it a little bit, and some more, some less. And then at the time that I was with my daughter, I was going to acting class, which took like all of my time. I had to be there from morning till the evening because you always have to kind of evolve as an actress. You know, you always have to work on your craft. And I so desperately wanted to do this, so I was there and yeah, practicing to being in front of a camera, training with other actors and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a really nice, a good experience.
So was it hard being alone? You didn't have a partner. You had family, but they were not as supportive as you would like. And even though they were watching her when she was a baby, like you said, you still had all those hormones going on. Did you ever
Exactly.
have a decision like maybe I should just put acting aside? Did you need it to pay the bills? Like, what was the reason that you were going to these classes, working, spending time away, or did you need that break? Did you recognize that I need to do this for me? What were all the thoughts in your head when you look back on it now that you think convinced you to go to those classes and to take on the acting work when she was a baby?
Yeah. Well, it was a funny thing because when my daughter was born, I had this kind of like right when she was born. I think even like when I was laying in the hospital, I had this insight of, oh my God, I have to go acting again. Hold on one second, I have to put him down again.
Okay,
Hold on. Oh, sorry.
that's all right.
Okay, now I'm back. Okay, he might return though. Okay, frame is okay like this.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I had this short insight, and it felt like something from the other side, if you would say that. I don't know, but it had this insight where it said, where I thought, I have to act again. I have to do this. That's why I'm here. I have to do this. So I was determined to go back into the business or into acting as soon as I could. So since I gave birth, I had to take a break because, of course, I also had a C-section, so I had to recover and also breastfeeding and everything. So I took my time, and then I auditioned for a project, which was a short movie. That was kind of pretty early. She was like 1 year or something, I think. And that was pretty cool. And then after that, I just like, as long as I don't work, I just go to classes so I can be, in training the whole time. Because if you don't work, you have to still, do the work. And yeah, I just had that feeling that it really pulled me back. I had to do this, and then like fast forward to when I got pregnant the second time. If you don't mind, if I like switch
That's all
on
right.
to this future,
Uh-huh.
um, I just did a like it was. I'm sorry to say this, but like it was not the right guy again. So I was like, okay, I think I'm not supposed to be with anyone or something. I don't know. Or maybe I am, but not at that time. And then I was alone again. He basically didn't want to have the kid. He was like trying to push me into abortion. And I was like, no, I'm not aborting. This is like too late now. So we should have thought about that earlier, blah, blah, blah. So after long discussions and everything, he basically like left. And I was like, okay, fine, it's better that way. And so I had the whole pregnancy by myself, and having my daughter as well. It was very, very challenging, very challenging. And basic actually still brings me to tears because it was like like I've never experienced anything like this before. So um, yeah, all these hormones going on, all these changes, and all by yourself. And I had to carry stuff, you know. I live in a flat that is like on the fourth floor. I don't have an elevator, so I had to carry all my stuff by myself. And like having pregnant, no family that is reliable, you know. It was very hard. Like I'm not gonna lie, it was very, very challenging. So, but I got used to it, right? And uh, when I when I was due, I actually wanted to be by myself. You know, I wanted to and I kind of wanted to have this moment for myself and enjoy it, because this was actually the first time that I was going to be awake while seeing my kid while giving birth. Because I the first my daughter, I was like fully out knocked because they put me on, what is it called? You know, when they put you to sleep.
General
And
anesthesia.
yes, yes, I was fully asleep and I didn't see her coming out basically. So yeah, I had that I gave birth by myself, and then the guy actually tried to see the kid and was like demanding to see him and everything. At first I was like, okay, yeah, well, maybe he has to because he's the dad and everything. But then I decided, you know what? Uh, I've gone through all of this by myself, and now you come like after everything's done. No, thank you. And I don't want you to be around. So I'm deciding I'm going to be a single mom by myself, and you can just go and get out of my life. So that was that. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So you knew what you wanted and what you didn't want. So you were going through a lot, like you said, with the hormones and everything else, and
Yeah.
you were sure this was the right thing for you, but being sure and dealing with all the difficulties are two different things. So,
Exactly.
um, were you having trouble just paying the bills, or financially were you okay? It was just emotionally you were dealing with stuff, or did you have multiple things going on, like, you know, conflict about family, emotions about being alone, trouble paying the bills? Like, was it all of that? Because most people deal with sort of one of those things at a time.
Exactly. That's a good point, because actually it's all of it. Because I'm like, okay, that's the story. Okay, it was all of it. My family was falling apart. Not kind of falling apart. It was more like were already apart. You know, it was just coming together sometimes. We actually grew a little bit closer now, but it's still not the reliable we all stick together family. So, but it's still okay. I'm okay with it. I make my peace. It's fine. um, so the family, then two kids by myself. The men were horrible. I had like also in the past. This is my story, okay? In my past, I had abusive relationships where I had like a stalker. After I broke up, he turned into a stalker and threatened to kill me and stuff like that. It was like horrible, horrible stories that I've been through. Um, and when my first kid was born, and I went to this class I told you about, I had like so much pressure, also with money financially. I still kind of do. I'm just now fighting my way out of it. Just I'm still it's still taking time. But back then, I went to this class. I had to be there full time, and my mom was taking care of my daughter, which she didn't want to, which also put me under pressure because I didn't want to leave my kid somewhere where she doesn't weren't welcome. You know, she wasn't welcome, and so I had all this pressure, and the pressure of showing up and being there and being, you know, present and everything, that my body actually. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Come here, my child. Come here. Oh man. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Okay, hold on one second. I don't know why he does that right now, but he just know exactly. He knows exactly the right moment. So okay. So is that okay like this?
Uh-huh. So fine. Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so I had all this pressure, right, with dealing all of this, that my body actually kind of not crush, but it made like made itself let me hear it. You know what I mean? It was like, listen, you have to come, you have to do something for yourself, and you have to relax, and otherwise it's not going to work, you know. So that's what I actually didn't do, and then I developed a tumor in my throat. So yeah, and I'm still actually, well, I don't want to recreate it, but I still finding ways to naturally get rid of this, um, which I'm on a journey right now because I stumbled across Dr. Joe Dispenza. I don't know if you're familiar with him or with his work. Maybe you heard of him.
No.
Dr. Joe Dispenza is he's a neurologist that actually he's written a lot of books, and a couple of books, and all of those books he scientifically captured what's happening when you're meditating, how you should meditate in order for you to change your life and everything, you know, and to become greater than your environment and everything. And that's what I started 6 weeks ago. So, and during that time, I actually got the message from you, or I got in contact with you, right? Because like after I started this journey, there were a lot of things happening, a lot of things breaking away, and new things coming into my life, like you, for example. And so this way, I'm working on to get my throat right again in a natural way, because a lot of people that are working on his with his meditations are successfully getting rid of things like that, you know. So that's what I'm intending to do, besides a lot of other things.
But you said you were diagnosed with this back when your daughter was young and you were taking the class?
Yes,
So
exactly.
you
She
had
was
it,
like 2
you had
years.
it treated then?
Excuse me?
Did you have it treated then, like the conventional
No, no, I haven't had it treated because I was also breastfeeding, and yeah, and I didn't want to. I was I undertook a surgery when she was small, and I was breastfeeding there too, because I had like a 10 centimeters. I don't know how much that is in inches, but it was like basically almost like baseball size, maybe bigger, in my uterus, right? And they had to remove that, because I think that's also due to all the stress and everything. So um, they had to remove that, and I almost lost my uterus because of that. So I thought, like, this time I don't want to have a surgery. I just want to find ways to get rid of it naturally, because I know that people are doing that, you know, that it's actually possible to have it, to get it out of your life for good, you know. So this is me attending to do it like that.
Wow. So all of this time, you've been acting, going to class, going to auditions, using that as your main source to pay your bills. It's not like you had a separate full-time job and you were just doing acting on the side. Acting was your main thing, right?
Yeah, well, the thing is it was my main thing, but I also was like the rest that I did not earn much, so the rest that I had to have, I got that from the government, like as a side, more or
Okay,
less. Yeah.
right. So you got some help, you learned to tap into some resources.
Yeah.
So when your son came along, it
Mhm.
sounds like you backed off from doing the classes every day and going out on auditions. How old is he now? You said 7 months?
Now he's 1 year,
1 year.
Actually,
Okay.
one and a quarter. He's going to turn 2 in May.
So you haven't done classes or auditions or acting work in over a year for the first
Exactly.
time in
Yeah.
6 or more years. Why was it different this time? What changed?
The difference was, first of all, I I just don't see how I can. I mean, when he's so like the way he is, he's different than my daughter. He's very like wants to be with me all the time. My daughter was a little bit like that too, but not in that intensity. So he's kind of different. So I'm trying to be there for him as much as I can. So I can't just I can't go somewhere for longer than, I don't know, a couple of hours and have a good conscience about it, you know. And second of all, since I've been working with this meditation and everything, um, I know that we are actually, I kind of stepped into the knowingness that we actually are creators, and that if you think like, basically like, not the law of attraction, but kind of a law of attraction thing, like if you really feel something and you really have an intention and you really uh, tap into your higher self or your energy, then you can actually manifest a lot of things, right? And that's what we always do, and that's what I did in my past without knowing it. That's why everything, like all of those things happened to me, and I kind of got to understand why all these things happened to me. So now I'm thinking, okay, I have to find the way how to actively create and manifest, and not passively and without me knowing, before before I start acting again. Because if I feel something, which like, by the way, the roles that I played are always like tragic and in love with the wrong person and stuff like that. You know, if I really have to feel that because I have to look like I do. So I don't want to manifest any more negative things into my life without me knowing it. So before that, I have to understand it like really, really good, like detailed way, you know. So that's why I'm actually pausing at the moment.
And do you know for sure in your heart you will go back to acting, or do you think there may be another road for you in the future?
I actually on my journey for creating my own brand. I want to be totally independent. This is what my actual dream is right now, and I know this for sure. This will happen, and this has to happen before I go back to acting again. I mean, when I'm like totally independent, I might be, you know, just do fun things that I really want to play, like roles that I really like and projects that I really like. But before that, I have to, and I want to be totally independent. So I'm creating this brand at the moment, and I'm in the process of transformation. And I've met some what is it called, like coaches that are going to help me get my mindset right, get me there, you know, to get me there to actually make this come true, because it's like a total new road for me. It's like online business is like total new for me. Yeah.
What is your brand? Is it just your name, or is it something in particular? Does it represent something in particular?
Yes, it represents. Um, it's gonna be like this. I'm going to take everything that I've learned during this whole hardship and all this journey that I've been through and I'm going through, and turn it into something that I will share with other single moms to help them, because I know I'm not the only one going through all of this. So I have to make something out of this that actually helps other people, you know, because I would have loved to have someone that I could turn to, you know, that to ask when I was in that situation the first time around, and the second time around when I was like clueless what to do and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna collect everything. I'm gonna put it out there, and this is going to be my brand, and it's probably going to called it's probably going to be called Single Moms Unite, Single Moms Unite, or either that or Single Moms. What was the other thing? Single Moms Connect, something like that. And I actually started also I already started a Facebook group and site, and I'm in the middle of creating my website for my blog, and starting a podcast and stuff like that, and YouTube. It's a lot. It's a lot on the table, and it's very yeah. It's not easy to execute with a little one at the moment, but I'm trying my best, and I will succeed at some point. But I have to like first I have to go all through this, through all this, you know, figuring out how to be able to be financially free and just locally free and everything. Yeah.
Can you do me a favor and tilt the camera up just a little bit?
No problem.
There
Sorry
we
for
go.
that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you are working. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
working from home, working on your own brand, whether it's making money or not, it's work.
Exactly. Yes, that's true.
You're
Yeah.
putting in
Exactly.
hours a day, right?
Excuse me?
You're putting in hours a day on this
Yes.
brand, YouTube,
Yes.
generating, working up to a podcast, Facebook, all this,
Yeah.
blogging, posting, creating logos, whatever it is, coming up,
Right.
you're going to be a content producer, or you are a content producer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm actually in the middle of figuring out the technical sides of it because I'm a totally newbie. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like the opposite of a nerd. I'm like the nerd in the other direction. I'm like I totally suck at technical things. I don't know why, but it's like, how do people do this? But I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to.
And that's how you started following Gary Vee, because he talks all about content and just putting it
Yes.
out there, and now is the time, and making more content. Are you
I,
on LinkedIn and TikTok like he always talks about?
yes, I'm actually on TikTok and I tried out a couple of things, but I have to find my way of doing things because I tried the things that the other people did, like the kids did, and it was kind of fun, but also I felt kind of out of place, It's not I think it's not my thing. I have to find my own thing.
It has to be authentic.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So who is Maxi? You've been through all this, but you're different now. Um, you are much more independent than a lot of women who would have stayed with somebody knowing it wasn't right because they felt they needed the emotional support, the financial support. They didn't want family or anyone else looking down on them because they were alone. But you made a different choice that takes more courage and bravery. So how would you define who you are and how that's going to infuse your brand?
Well, I think you brought up a lot of points that are actually basically a lot of the points that I'm trying to bring across to people or to women that are lost, like I was. I also thought that I can't be alone. I can't be by myself, and I have to have someone there to support me emotionally, financially, which is, of course, it would be easier in the physical realm, but the emotional and soul realm is like totally lost. I think this is a time for a lot of people in general to for waking up. A lot of people are waking up and really asking themselves like basic questions like, who am I? What am I doing? Is this what I want? And where am I going with this and stuff? So, and nowadays we have like the freedom, like Gary Vee always said, we have the power of the internet. Like never before, this is the best time to be alive, and we should be, executing, and we should like take advantage of this one in a lifetime possibility and opportunity. So, um, this is actually what I'm bringing across with my brand. What I want to bring across, like, don't settle in with what is it called? What's the word in English? Sorry, it's now I forgot the word. Like when
Complacency?
the role you play as a woman, the role you have to play as a
Stereotype.
yeah, exactly. Don't settle into those stereotypes. Like if you don't feel like, don't do it because you're gonna regret it. I did. I was with a guy with this man that I told you about that he threatened my life and everything. I was with him for 8 years, and we actually were engaged after a couple of time, like after a couple of years, and we were about to marry. But I'm so happy that I stepped out of this, and I just like I can not stress enough, don't just settle in those kind of relationships or situationships or situations where you're just in there because you don't want your family to look down on you, which my family actually does. They always like, what did you do? He was like, he was having good money, and he was being there for me, and I would have had it so much easier. Why did I do this? Nobody understands. But of course, like after he threatened my life and everything, they were like, oh, maybe there's something to it that we didn't see. So yeah. And also I what I really want with my brand is to connect with single moms, not only locally but worldwide, so that we can like share and exchange experiences, information. Where do I go? What can I do? How, like, hacks and tricks for everyday life, the everyday hassle. And also, I'm planning on having maybe planning events and everything. I have something in mind. It's not like finished yet, but there's like a lot of things that I want to that I want to do and share with the world with my brand. So this is,
Wow, big
yeah,
plan. So
yeah,
I want to ask you, looking back on the last, 6 years that you've been a mom, all that you
yeah,
went through, being alone, having to like you said, your family wasn't really somebody you could rely on.
yeah,
Was there somebody, and I know that you had that, fortitude in you to keep going, and you had to do it for your children. But usually there's somebody in our life, even if it's somebody from our past, a teacher that told us something, and it repeats in our mind, a friend that lives far away, but every so often at 1 in the morning when you're in the corner crying, you can call them. Somebody online. I met a woman who said, I get my strength from an online Facebook group where I can vent and they tell me
yeah,
back it's okay. Be we're all beings that need others. And
yeah,
and
true.
as much as you can be an island, I doubt that all these 6 years there hasn't been somebody there that let you know that you're beautiful, you're smart, you're capable, you got this, you'll get through this. Who was it? Where did you find something that helped pull you along when you just felt like I can't go on?
Yeah. Um, that is something that is really like also a very long story because it changed so much. Like in the beginning when I was like with that guy, that it actually started when I was with that guy for 8 years. There I had two girlfriends, and they were really like I always saw them as like very strong and independent. They didn't have a relationship, and they always were like, you know what, don't let him, put you down, and don't do this, and if you don't want it, just like leave. And I was like, I don't know, I can't just leave. And then they basically were like whispering, like they had them as whispering in my ears, saying like, you are better than this, and I don't know, it got stuck in my head for years. And then at one point I was like, I think they're right. I should just leave this. And which I did. And then those relationship with my girlfriends actually fell apart because it was like also complicated. But they kind of didn't expect me to be that radical. And then I was like, I was I was very lost. So I looked for kind of the love and the support that were talking about. I looked for that in other men because I did not know that this is actually that I have something that this is something I have inside, or maybe even in my role model, but anything else than men, but I did not know that. So I was actually having a phase of trying to find love, and all I could find was just unrelatable um, men that were actually just like taking advantage of someone that is really lost. So that was a really tough time for me as well. I basically was like a baby coming out of I was with that guy after I kind of almost after I moved out of my parents' place. So I was like a baby back then. So yeah, of course, I did not find the support and the love and man that I wished so much to find. And actually, I did not have anyone then to really have the support. I just took what came to me from day to day. Like there were like men that said like, "Oh, you're beautiful," but of course did not mean it the way I wanted to, but I just heard it that way. Like, oh, thank you, So, and then I actually was, I'm not gonna lie, I was like I really wanted to die. I really wanted to kill myself. It was like a very, very tough time. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. It was like I was losing myself in that time. It was so difficult. So yeah, that was because it was just because I was looking for something that I couldn't find outside of myself, and that's why I felt so lost. And every time I would like go with another man, I would kind of deny my source and my strength. That's why I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why I'm here. I just want to go. So, okay, my son's back. Hold on 1 second.
Sorry.
Come here, my son. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I was
Did you reconnect with those girlfriends at any time?
no, never. I I was like very I really wanted to, and I was like, why are they doing this? They can't leave me alone like this, blah blah blah. But at one point I was like, you know what? I think it's better that way. If they can't support me in times of hardship, then they can't be there when I'm good. So that was better for me. And later on, after that, after I kind of grew out of that dark phase, um, a little bit, I kind of like got a little bit out of that. I met the dad of my daughter, and then everything started from another. Like, it was basically the same, but more difficult, because now there's a kid involved. So I thought it was different, but it wasn't. Just another perspective. And now, since I'm having, like, when I was pregnant the second time, I was like, I have so enough. I'm so enough. Like, how do you say that? Like, I have it. I'm full of it. No, what do you say? I'm sorry for the English term. How do you say that? I've had enough. Yeah.
Fed up?
Yeah, I'm fed up. I'm so fed up with this. I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna work on myself and nurture myself and be there for my kids and just be the best I can and love myself the way I am. And that's how I started to actually be happy again. I mean, of course I was happy with them when my daughter was born, and I never loved anyone as much as I do my daughter and my son. But self-love is something that really was missing before. So that's what I found.
So it sounds to me like your children are the ones who kind of, I mean, I know you started feeling better. You said you found this guy who was the father of your daughter, and he was not abusive, but you realized after a while, emotionally, he wasn't the right person for you.
Yeah.
But you didn't try to prevent having a child. Maybe you knew that having a child in your life would give you the strength that you were kind of looking for inside yourself. I mean, do you think knowing that these two depend on you will keep you from going into that dark place again? Because if you leave the world, you leave them alone. If you left the world before, you weren't leaving anybody. But now, so do you think that maybe your soul was nurturing you were looking outside yourself for something, and you found it by creating your own family?
Well, I think before I got pregnant the first time, that might have been actually the case a little bit. How can I say that? It's difficult to explain. I think I really wanted to, I wanted to find something to nurture outside of myself and to concentrate on something else other than me and my shitty, sorry to say that, can I say that? Am I allowed to say that? My shitty surroundings, or the way I see things, and I can't seem to understand the world right, or what I should do and how I should go about things and everything. But as soon as I actually got pregnant, or like before I got pregnant, like almost like right before I got pregnant, I saw like a snippet of what it actually means to find like true strength in myself. Because actually the guy, the dad of my daughter, he kind of started this a little bit for me, because he actually seemed to me like he was very independent and self aware, and he didn't need anyone's opinion to be to feel good. I thought he would not, but it turned out actually he's also a little bit he's also an actor, and he was acting a long time before I saw his real face. So that's why when I started, okay, maybe you're not the right person. So yeah, I kind of let myself overwhelm with his charm and his how the way he acted and everything. So yeah, that's when I thought, okay, this is not the right guy. And then he also started some things that were really hard, and kind of made my life very not very easy, with my kid and everything, being alone. Yeah, so that's when, like, a year or two I was alone, or no, I was 3 years after that I was alone with my kid. And then I thought, that's fine, I'm not gonna, if there's somebody, yeah, that's fine, and I actually want someone, but if not, it's fine. And then I met this guy, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the one, that's the right one. And then no, nah, it was not. So he was yeah, I kind of that it's the pattern, it's a pattern from the things that I've learned in the past, that I've learned from my dad, and it just repeated itself in different how do you say that, like in different shapes and forms. So now I'm good. I'm so good. I'm like, okay, thank you, I've learned a lot, and I'm gonna take this and turn it into something actually good.
And sometimes when you get to that good place is when you allow yourself to open up, and maybe something comes into the door that you're not so needy for, because
Exactly.
you're in a good place yourself. So I want to ask you, and nobody knows the future, but let's just say hypothetically, down the road somebody does come into your life, and because I think you'll find the right one. It could take a while, but I lived with 3 men before the 4th one that is my husband now.
Oh,
So
really?
yes, we
Oh,
lived
wow.
together. 3 men, we lived together. I think deep down I always knew none of those 3 were going to be long term, but I was definitely in love enough to live with them and see where it would go. But but with my husband it was different. I knew he was my soulmate, and we have 2 kids together. And so let's say down the road you're with somebody like that is the right person for you, and they bring you and your children into their heart and their world, and let's say they make a lot of money and you don't have to work. Do you you're like, oh, I would love that.
Yeah, let's go.
So do you think at that point, whether your brand was doing well or not, let's say you were still struggling to really make it, you didn't have a bunch of great acting gigs, the brand was doing okay, but would you just say, you know what, I'll just stop working, I'll just focus on my kids, maybe we'll have another? Or are you the kind of person, and everyone's different, there's no right or wrong answer, but do you think you're the kind of person that you'll always want to do something aside from your children, even if it takes you away from them some of the time? Have you thought about this? What do you think?
It's funny that you say that, because I'm actually changing that, because I used to be like, no, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and I'm gonna be with my kids, and which is also great, and I love being with my kids. But now I think no, I really want to have something for my own, and I want to be like I said, totally independent. Which does not mean I will not take my kids, because I'm actually I want to be as independent as I can decide if I will take my kids or not. You know, nobody's gonna like dictate. No, there's no children. You know, so that's actually what I'm aiming for. So then when I'm free to decide, I can say, okay, you know what, this time I want just the time for myself and, you know, relax a little, because I didn't do that for, I can't even remember how long it was since I did something for myself. Um, Basically since my daughter was born. So, um, but yeah, I really want to have something. I don't want to be dependent on anyone, even if I'm with someone that is like rich or wealthy or whatever. That's fine. And if he's not what's the word? Not greedy. Stingy. Like if he's not, he can't be stingy if he wants to be with me, because I'm not stingy either. So that's fine. But I don't want to be dependent on his money or his, you know, work or whatever. So yeah, definitely we'll keep going.
And you said you haven't really done anything for yourself for many years, but starting
Yeah.
this brand, is this for yourself? When you're
Yeah.
doing it, when the kids are in school or sleeping and you're focused and you get in that flow, do you feel like, are you getting a sense of, you know, wow, this is even better than going to the spa or getting my hair done or my nails done or having drinks with my girlfriend? I know I feel that way sometimes when I'm editing videos. I would rather,
Yeah.
there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. Do you feel that way, or or do you think, no, this is just something I'm doing for work for now?
Yeah, no, I actually feel that way, but I have to yet find the thing that I love most about it, where I'm actually like, you know, gone for hours, and I think it's like only 1 hour that I've worked on this, because I'm starting the podcast on YouTube and the blog and everything. I don't know, I don't know yet which one I will enjoy the most. I know that I enjoy writing, that's why I thought, yeah, I should start a blog. But I don't know. I don't know if I like YouTube more. I'm not sure yet, but there will like I have to find the one thing of all of those things that I will enjoy the most. But I know I will definitely one of them or all of them. I don't know, maybe.
Did you feel that way when you were acting? I mean, you were leaving your daughter when she was a baby to go take classes that you weren't even earning money. So was acting something that you felt kind of fed your soul in a way that that it will always be there in your life, even if you're doing it in different ways on your through your own brand?
Oh yeah, I was definitely. There was a time when I thought the only thing that's keeping me alive through this dark time is acting and dancing. I was actually also dancing since I'm 4. And both of those things kind of gave me the tool to, you know, to create to no, what's the word, to get myself, to get my core out of me, you know what I mean, to express myself. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. Yeah, to express myself and to be really like taken by it, and just like don't know what how much time goes by and everything. That was really like giving me the feeling of saving me, kind of, you know. So definitely was the same thing. But yeah, I probably will find the thing similar to this with the brand I will start, or I'm creating right now. Yeah.
So when you did the acting and the dancing, did you have kind of a little family of people that you knew through the classes or through projects that you were working on? Were they helping you at times with some of the emotional turmoil you were going through? Because I know sometimes people in that theatrical artistic world get very close and are very emotionally
Mhm.
attached.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I actually did. Yeah, I grew close with some of them. But the thing is, like, first of all, I was on another vibration back then, so I always attracted the people similar to me, you know, and that kind of made everything worse. Even though I felt like, oh yeah, this is helping me, you know, they understand me and everything, but it kind of made me like go further and spiral further into this, you know. And also the scene, like there's a scene here in Berlin, Germany, of actors and dancers. I mean, dancers and actors are different, like from each other. For example, actors in Germany, they always are so stiff and so depressed because they suffer so much. They think you have to suffer in order to act deeply and right, you know, it's believable and stuff like that. And I'm totally not like that because I'm always like, even though I had tough times, but I was always smiling, and I was always, of course, I wasn't always feeling like that, but I felt like, I don't know, I just had to smile, you know, and no, everybody was like looking down on me for that, you know, because they're always like, oh, so depressed. I really feel this. This is like, you know, like very, yeah, dark people. I don't know. And the dancers are just about, you know, everything is fun, and now there's no reliability other than the job, and everything is like, yeah, let's just have fun and that's it, and then I'll never see you again, no matter if you're a guy or a girl. It's all like very superficial. Is that the word? Yeah,
Yes.
very superficial, and everybody's like in kind of damn it, what's the word? Sorry, I keep forgetting words. Um, in you know, when they compare each other and think, yeah, I have to be better than them. What's the word?
Um, um,
Competition.
yes.
Yeah, they're always in competition with each other and stuff like that. So I'm kind of, I don't know, I was always feeling out of place. That's why probably I also want to move, because I feel like I have to connect with people outside of this place where I don't feel like I belong. I've never like, since I was a kid, I felt like I don't belong here. I have to go to Australia. I have to go to the States, which I actually did, and you know, I have to see the world. I have to go somewhere else, and it always, like, it still is like that. So that's why I never connected, really, probably.
You said in the beginning that you think you might want to homeschool. Why would you
Yeah,
want to do that? That would be more burden and time on you.
yeah, because my plan is to, first of all, I want my kids to learn something that they actually can take, that they are never in the same situation that I was, or still a little bit am now, because I never learned how to make money. I never learned how to make business. I never learned things that are actually helping, you know. And I want them to learn all this, and also I want them to learn who they really are, what they really want, because that's something that I also never learned and had to figure out the hard way. And I think the school system, I don't know, probably all around the world is kind of similar, maybe a little bit, few differences, but here you just have to function, you know, and you're not supposed to think about what you want and what you actually don't want, and you know what your strength is, or you just have to do what you are told. And I don't want them to have the same problems that I did. So I want to homeschool, which does not mean I do want to homeschool myself too, but I also will you know, find classes that they will be interested in, like arts or mathematics or physics or whatever. Then they will go to class, because I can't teach everything by myself. So I will find those things, and I maybe, you know, get someone over that is actually a teacher that will, you know, provide them with knowledge that I can't, or something. So I will find ways that I can have also, that they can have for themselves, which is also good. And you know, meet other children as well, because there are also other homeschooling kids in Switzerland, and I definitely will connect with that community. And but also time for myself, of course, with through those people that I will involve into this. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my.
Anything else you want to add, Maxie? I think we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, that's true. um, I just, well, yeah, anything. The thing that I want to add is, like, look out for my brand, please. Like Single Moms Unite or Single Moms Connect. And I definitely would love you to share it and to get the word out, please, and please, moms, connect, because this competition, like, there's a lot of, the things that are like put onto us, that we have to be in competition, we can't be friends with each other. We are starting to breaking away from this, but please remember this, because we can help each other out so much, and it's just so empowering to stick together. That's what I really want to give my heart to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do with working moms is,
exactly.
we share a lot of the same struggles, but we don't talk to each other about it because we're all trying to make it.
Right.
I'm okay, don't worry, but we're not.
Yeah,
So when we
yeah,
share struggles, we lift each other up, and then, we let each other know, oh, you're having that problem too. I thought I was the only one. And then
yeah.
how did you figure that out? Oh, and here's how I figured this out. So we have more
Right.
successes than we realize, and we have more in common with our failures with others than we realize.
Exactly. That's what I love. That's why I love what you do. And
If you found this conversation helpful, inspiring, or just refreshing for shining a light on the messy parts of life, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. If you want to invest in a solution to the childcare crisis, you can reach out to me at diane@momsub.com about the MomSub Equity Crowdfunding Campaign, or connect with MomSub on LinkedIn or other social media platforms. That's MomSub, like a substitute mom. Remember, your career, your choices, and your success are yours to define. Keep pushing boundaries and spreading your love and encouragement to other women who need it.